Hi, this is Kathy from MummyTravels and I am back with some more of my money saving travel tips. I've already done one set on how to save some money on your flights. This is how to cut the cost of your city breaks. If you follow my blog, MummyTravels.com, you'll probably have seen some of these already, but always worth a reminder, the more money you save, the more travel you can do. That's got to be good. So my first tip is find the freebies. There are always freebies in big cities, walking tours especially. Some of them are up to you how much you tip at the end. Or another great one that I've come across is called the Global Greeter Network. It's not all over the world, but you can find it all kinds of places. And you get a local then to show you around. Some do specific itineraries, some of them you make your own. We had a brilliant one in Japan where a local guy took us around Tokyo, and we got really a bit more of an insight into Japan as well as just seeing the official places. You have to cover things like transport and food, so depending what you do, if you're doing a whole day, it's not totally free, but it can work out as a bargain way to do it and a much better way to do it. My second tip, if you are spending money, is make the most of it. I'm signed up to one of the cashback sites. I tend to use Quidco, but you can have ones like Top Cashback as well, because let's face it, you can't really go through life without spending any money whatsoever. And if you're booking flights or car hire or anything like that, or even just day-to-day expenses, you get a bit of money back, you put that into a pot, hey presto, that pays for some of your next holiday. Tip number 3, try to stay somewhere central. I know that seems a bit counterintuitive because everyone says, oh, you know, stay out, you can save so much money on accommodation. And you can, but I've found it can actually work a lot better if you're right in the middle of things. Firstly, you're not paying a fortune in public transport back and forwards. Secondly, if you're only there for a short time, you're not spending all your time on a bus going round and round in circles. And also, particularly if you've got kids, it's really quite useful not to be too far from your hotel. Even when it's not, when I stayed in Ljubljana with a friend, our hotel was right in the middle of town, and if we'd forgotten something we could nip in. I think we even went back to go to the toilet one time because we just couldn't find a public one. My next tip is to look at city passes. Now, on the face of it, city passes are brilliant. You can get all your public transport thrown in, you can get entry to all kinds of places, but from my experience, it's worth pricing them up. The good ones are as good as they seem. They've saved me a fortune. If you're planning to pack a lot in, if you are going to need to get around on the bus and so on, then they can be great. But sometimes you end up getting a one-day one and discovering you have to go to 10 places in about 8 hours to make it pay for itself. Others have little bonuses like helping you skip the queues and so on. So just do your research, I think, on that one. Don't always assume that's going to be the cheapest way to do it. Another research tip for my next one, and that's if you're planning to visit an attraction, particularly a museum, but also some family-friendly ones as well, check out whether they've got reduced opening. Some places will let you in cheaper if you get there, say, after 3 o'clock or after 5 o'clock, because you're only having part of the time. Others will have totally free days, all that kind of thing. Sometimes, again, it can backfire a bit if everybody turns up for the free day. I rarely get to spend more than an hour in a museum anyway, so we might as well get in for a bit cheaper. I'm going to be back with some more money-saving travel tips. You can have a look at the playlist below where I'm going to put them all together in one place, or obviously subscribe, that would be lovely, thank you, and then you can see everything first.